This Friday marks my favorite time of year, the summer movie season, where careers are made, dreams are realized, and box offices are broken. But who will come out on top this summer? I'm here with my predictions. Cue title scene. Important thing to remember, this is in no order of preference. As in that, there are movies on here I'm probably not going to like, there are movies here I'm going to love, and there are probably things here that I wish would make more money or less money. These are just my predictions to what I think the profits will be, and how I think people will react to them. If you disagree, feel free to comment. But without further ado, let's get started. First up, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I know there's a lot of anticipation in this movie, a lot of curiosity, a lot of fascination, and a lot of the dudes at Marvel have been saying this is their best script ever, no joke. But the problem is getting the general public to go to this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, this film's probably going to make a lot of money. I mean, it's Marvel. They can do no wrong right now. But realistically, it's a lot harder to sell this to people than even, say, Thor, where there is some realm of believability I think people can find. With this, what I think is going to detract people is A, something they've never even remotely heard of, the cheesiness aspect to it, and just the way things look. I mean, it's a talking raccoon movie, for God's sakes. It'll still make money, but I think this might end up, rather it's excellent or not, I think based on these trailers it looks amazing, but it looks like this might be the one that kind of makes Marvel go a little bit south, at least until, you know, Avengers 2 comes out and makes everything blow up. I'm not going to lie, this is one I'm not that interested in. I don't really care for prequels that much. I'm not a big Disney princess person. I never watched this movie as a child. I have no connection to it at all. But it is Disney's big non-Marvel related movie of the year. It is definitely the one they're marketing the most. The trailers have been good. The commercials have looked good. It's Angelina Jolie, so there's that attraction. I know Sleeping Beauty is a really popular movie, there's that. I think it will bring in that huge audience, probably a lot of families, a lot of kids, and, you know, it'll be the big money maker. I don't care if it's good or bad at this point. The internet has spoken, and with a big round of applause they have said, fuck this movie. Yeah, again, as I've said, very mixed on the trailer, got a lot of mixed reactions. People are still really pissed off that this film is going the way it is, but we all know we're going to see it. It will make a lot of money. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're always popular. They have a fan base. Everyone knows they're going to at least see it once. If it's good, it'll probably make more money and be higher up on this list, but realistically, it's Michael Bay and a lot of the other people, plus it's Nickelodeon. It's going to attract a lot of kids thanks to that cartoon series going on. It'll do good. Let's just hope it's a little bit good anyways. Now, as many of you know, I'm a big anime fan. I like Japanese culture. I love giant robots versus giant monsters. Big Power Rangers fan. Pacific Rim was my favorite movie of the year last year. But I think profit-wise, Godzilla is in serious trouble, rather the film's good or bad. The only real big star in this is Bryan Cranston, even though, yeah, he's got a fan base. It's like the Godzilla fan base. It's big and it's strong, but it's really not enough to just be what makes this movie money. You need to get the general public involved, and the question is, does the general audience have a taste for Godzilla? Do they care? Are they interested? Will enough people give a crap to go see it? And to be honest, I'm not sure with this one. It's looked good. Everything that's come out has looked awesome. But I thought everything that came out of Pacific Rim for the trailers-wise looked good and awesome, and that movie tanked in this country. So, yeah, could Godzilla be a huge moneymaker? I'm pretty certain in the foreign markets it will, but as far as this country's concerned, it's tough to tell what our taste in giant killer monsters are these days. When Rise of the Planet of the Apes came out, I thought, oh, this is going to suck. It's not going to make any money. It's going to stoink. Then I saw it, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. I've never been a big Planet of the Apes fan to begin with. You know, I liked the original, hated the remake, hated a lot of the sequels, but this last movie was decent. But it blew up, made way more money than it was even predicted to, did a huge amount of justice, and I think this movie, when you bring in an acclaimed actor like Gary Oldman to lead up the human cast, you have Caesar, who was popular from the last movie, you have all these elements coming together, I think this movie's going to make a serious chunk of change, especially if it turns out to be as good for most people as the last one was, and if not better. So remember the surprise hit, We're the Millers? It made way too much money, even though it was still okay. And you know that film that just came out that I completely shitted on the other day, The Other Woman? Well, like it or not, rather it's good or bad, rather they're decent or not, rather they're funny or not, there's always a big comedy that makes it into the top 10, you know, of the summer and tends to be remembered, rather again it is good or bad. And 21 Jump Street along with Ted were it for 2012, and I feel with how popular that movie was, and again, it was great. I loved the movie. I thought it was excellent. And the thing is that you have that huge reception, you have that huge following. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are huge. They got such positive reception from the last movie, and again, with all the big sci-fi action thrillers that come out every summer, there's always that welcomed change of things. Just the thing that isn't taking itself seriously, having fun with it, and that always brings in a lot more people than it's always expected to. And I think this year that will go to 22 Jump Street for all the reasons I mentioned. Plus, the trailers look hilarious. I think this is going to be a fun movie, maybe even a great one. Wolverine, all the other X-Men, awesome action shown in the trailers and commercials, and it's an X-Men movie! Now, the X-Men franchise has stumbled with X3 and X-Men Origins Wolverine, but after the huge positive reception of The Wolverine last year and the critical reception of First Class, it's looking good for this one. And again, a lot of people have been talking about the trailers. This movie has the hype that I think Godzilla is lacking. Even though, yes, you get the fan base really hyped up, and they're all ready to see it, you need to get the general public interested. And with X-Men, you know, Days of Future Past, because there have been so many other X-Men films, good or bad, it gets everyone curious and interested, and they want to see it. And again, a lot of people have been talking about this movie. A lot of people are happy to see Bryan Singer back, and I think that's going to help bring in the crowds this movie needs. You know, that will definitely help. And again, from what I've heard, the movie is looking pretty good. That word of mouth helps when you have a big name franchise like this. And I have no doubt it's going to keep the X-Men good, healthy, and alive, and with Fox. How the hell do we wind up like this? Now, I know what you're thinking. A kid's movie this high up? Fuck no. Well, think about this for a minute. The first How to Train Your Dragon was a huge surprise hit. It was beautiful to look at, was very well told, had a nice story, well acted, and made a good amount of money and got a great positive reception, has developed a nice following. But there's another important factor to remember here. This film comes out right when everything big is coming out. And the thing is, not every parent is going to want to bring their child to the big superhero movie or the big sci-fi action, so they don't think they're ready for that. So what do you bring them to? This baby. Once again, like with 22 Jump Street, there's always that big kids movie that always makes a huge amount of profit in the summer. And I think this film will be that because A, it's really the only big major just for kid family movie coming out, and B, it looks really good. Now, I, like a lot of people, wasn't totally sold on the first trailer, but everything that I've been seeing from the other trailers, and then just stuff I've heard about and read online, this film is really turning out to be something good and something special. And if Amazing Spider-Man 2 has a lot of the darkness I'm hearing it does with certain elements, and as well as other films that might attract kids but might end up being darker, I think parents are going to want that nice little relaxation from everything, that thing to bring the children to on the weekend. They can have fun, and maybe if you're the parent, you'll love it too, and I think this movie will do that. Here we go, my most anticipated movie of the year. Why? Because I'm a huge Spider-Man fanboy. I admit it, and you know what? I loved the first Amazing Spider-Man. I acknowledge for a lot of people it had a lukewarm show out for the big screen, but realistically, next to Batman, Spider-Man seems to be the most profitable individual superhero franchise. So realistically, the film's going to make a huge amount of money there. He's Spider-Man. Everyone loves him. And even though a lot of people hated The Amazing Spider-Man, and you know, Spider-Man 3 wasn't so hot, he's still going to bring that huge audience. People will go see him at the very least just because he's Spidey. Andrew Garfield's popular right now. Emma Stone's popular right now. This film has been marketed to death. And even though, yeah, some people are getting sick of it, I'm sure it has worked on enough people, because I know people who only saw the one trailer or have only seen the TV spots. It sounds crazy, but it's true. And you know, it's going to bring in kids, it's going to bring in adults, and again, it's Spider-Man. Even if it's bad, which I'm hearing it might be, it's still going to be a huge money maker. If nothing else, I might end up seeing it 10 or 11 times. Is this that surprising? Okay, look, realistically, Transformers 2 was terrible. Transformers 3, I thought it was good and alright, a lot of people still hated it, but it's Transformers. We all know we're mindlessly going to see it. The trailers have been awesome and epic. All 3 trailers were awesome and epic for the other movies. But, you know what, no matter what it looks like, no matter what's good or bad, we know we're going to see it. It's got Dinobots. It might have Unicron. It might have Galvatron. We already know acting-wise it's going to be a step up because you got Mark Wahlberg in there. We know it looks like the action's going to be cooler. So far it looks like there won't be as much of a reliance on the stupid humor. The fanboys are back into this because Optimus is now short-nosed. You have a lot of things working in this movie's favor, and again, I think that's going to cause this film to make, again, probably close to $1 billion, if not more. Now, I don't know if taking, well, when was the last Transformers? That was 11, so it's been 3 years. I don't know if taking the bigger break than it did with the other ones will help it or hurt it, but realistically, we know this film's going to make a huge ton of money, because it's Transformers, it's never not profitable. But what do you think is profitable? In the comment section below, tell me the movies you think are going to make more than enough money this summer. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, because summer movie season is almost here and the fun's just about to begin.